Elements of Jazz, your visual jazz experience.
I made a new CD, as we call in the trade. It's with a whole orchestra, a whole symphony orchestra. There's like 75 human beings on this album. This is economic stimulus. Steve Cole style, yo. What? Anyway, yes, my new album's called Moonlight, and it does feature a full orchestra. I was very lucky to find a record label silly enough to pay for that. And so, their loss is your gain. So I'd like to share it with you right now. It's a beautiful song by a phenomenal songwriter named Sarah McLachlan. You don't hear a lot of Sarah McLachlan at smooth jazz concerts, but you should, because she's awesome. It's called Angel.
Hi, I'm here with Steve Cole at the Infiniti Summer Concert Series in beautiful Newport Beach, California. You like it here, Steve?
I like it here. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. And have you played this show before?
Many, many years, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
In a row, consecutively?
Sometimes consecutively, but we've been here quite a number of times. Yeah.
So, how did growing up in Chicago influence you, the style of music that you listened to growing up? What did you like?
Everything.
Everything and anything, right?
The cool thing about living in Chicago is that all kinds of music are in Chicago. You know, it's not just a jazz town or a blues town or a classical town or a gospel town. It's all of them. So I was really fortunate to grow up in Chicago because I wasn't restricted to a particular style. You know, I actually started my music studies in classical music and thought that I wanted to be a classical saxophonist and play music with, you know, string ensembles and things like that. Serious
More
music.
civilized.
More civilized. The kind of music where you like raise your elbow up when you play.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, like
You're
this.
very reserved.
Yeah. But quickly, you know, realized that there was a whole other world of music out there.
Can you tell us what your take is on smooth jazz these days? I mean, you know, what do you think the world of jazz?
Well, you know, it's interesting. It all depends on how you look at it. You know, for me, this is the busiest year I've ever had. Great. So, in terms of, you know, the economy of smooth jazz,
right?
You know, we're working like crazy.
Oh, that's great.
There's a very large and very loyal audience that comes out to see the shows. But in terms of how the music has evolved, it's actually better today.
Good.
Because, you know, when I started out in this music, not even as a participant, but as a fan, you know, I listened to all kinds of really eclectic music that kind of fit the same kind of category, but the bandwidth was so wide. I mean, you would have, you know, David Sanborn and Inspired Art and Grover Washington and Special Effects and Steps Ahead and Return to Forever and, you know, Chick Corea, and, you know, it was all over the place and everyone was doing great. And then somehow, with a lot of big media, we all kind of got convinced that in order to get played on the radio, we had to narrow the bandwidth to meet a particular, you know, kind of aesthetic about music.
Got involved with the Sax Pack. I mean, how did that evolve? Jeff talked you into it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He had some footage of me that I thought was embarrassing.
That's right.
You know,
and he held you hostage. You're playing with us or not?
Well, yeah. It's interesting because we've all been fans. You know, like Jeff and you know, and normally the Sax Pack is Jeff Kashua and myself and Kim Waters.
Right.
And we have other family members. Schultz is one of our favorite, you know, kind of extended family of the Sax Pack. We love him to death.
He doesn't like to laugh or have a good time, though. He's a little too dry.
Yeah, he is a little bit reserved, and we have to kind of bring him out of his shell a bit. But you know, we're good at that.
That's good.
And there are others, but the Sax Pack, you know, Steve, me, Jeff, and Kim, various festivals, and different shows, different cities, and had a great time. And then Jeff had this great idea one day. It's like, wait a minute, you know, Rat Pack, Sax Pack. Why not?
Double entendre.
Yeah, you know, if you will. And so literally one day, and I remember I was driving around with my dad one day. He was a sax player. He taught me how to play the saxophone.
Great.
And Jeff calls me up on the phone and he's like, hey, I have this idea. I want to do this thing with you and Kim. And I want to call it the Sax Pack. And I'm like, that sounds awesome. and the next question was, do we have any gigs? He's like, well, yeah, we do actually. I'm like, you're kidding. He's like, yeah, we actually have a gig and we're not even a band yet. I'm like, this is a good sign. So yeah, I mean, it was really that simple. I mean, I love these guys. I love their music. I didn't even know them all that well. I didn't know Kim and
now you know them a little too well, right?
And well, we know a lot of things about each other that, you know, will come out.
Yeah, eventually, right?
But it's great chemistry. I don't think that any three saxophonists other than us sound that particular way. It's really a unique thing, and we have a blast. Make a new record this year.
Oh, really?
And I'm really thrilled about it because it kind of, you know, I kind of came up playing classical music and loved the sound of the orchestra. So I fell in love with the sound of the orchestra at a very young age, and I always wanted to get back to that aesthetic. So finally, at this point in my career, I was able to make a record. I called it Moonlight. It features a full symphony orchestra. and a phenomenal rhythm section. It's got Steve Rodby from the Pat Metheny Group. It's got Russell Ferrante from the Yellow Jackets, and gigantic orchestra, and it's awesome. The arrangements are all original, and it's music from, runs the gamut from Sarah McLachlan, James Taylor, to music like standards like Cry Me a River and You Don't Know Me and things like that. And it's just,
that sounds
just
really
gorgeous.
great.
So I'm very proud of it. And
is it out now?
It's out right now. It's called Moonlight. Available at a store near you or online.
Get it.